My husband is maybe cheating with a student. What do I do? I am freaking out right now. My partner is a high school math teacher. He has been teaching now for a decade now and generally has been praised by students, parents, other teachers and admin for how he does his job. We have been together for 7 years. We got married in 2023. I have never worried about him being interested in his students. We have even talked about teacher/student relationships and he has never expressed anything other than disgust and how it's an abuse of power, even if the student is an adult, not to specific instances IRL. Just movie instances and general topic discussion. He has never been called out for being inappropriate, that I know, never engaged with students over the weekend/summer, unless it's school related, but even then all contact is through school email or with parents. He generally refers to his students as his kids, and actively keeps a distance from developing too close of a relationship, because he is young, attractive and other male teachers recommended he do so. Okay, here's what happened. Around March, we were at the movie theater one evening and I noticed a gaggle of girls staring and pointing. I notified my partner, assuming they were his students, and he told me I was right. We did not go over to say hi. We have seen his students before out and about and he says hi on a case-by-case basis but typically doesn't initiate, and they did not come to us. But, I noticed the rest of the girls playfully shoving one girl with lots of whispers, and the girl was staring at my husband sheepishly. I immediately thought she probably had a crush and honestly, thought nothing of it after until last weekend. We were celebrating Canada Day at a barbecue with family and my husband was pretty wasted. At one point, he went to the bathroom and didn't come back for so long I was worried he was getting sick, so I checked on him. When I knocked and said it was me, he said he was okay and would be right out but didn't unlock the door. He stayed in the bathroom for another 10 minutes. Super unusual for him but it could have been anything. Later that night, I woke up around 3 and he wasn't in bed. Worried again, I got up and found him on his phone in the living room. This is also unusual. When I asked what he was doing, he was definitely surprised and hit his phone screen. He said he couldn't sleep and didn't want to wake me up by watching videos next to me in bed. We both went back to sleep together. The next morning, he was hungover and slept in. I went through his phone. I have never not had a reason to trust him, so I have never gone through his phone. I found nothing of interest, except for the Snapchat app, which was not logged into. He used to use Snapchat but, from what I knew, hadn't in years. I honestly assumed nothing finding the app and figured I was reading too much into things. Last night, I saw a Snapchat notification pop up on his phone while we were watching TV. It was out of the corner of my eye but the logo is too recognition to mistake. My heart fucking dropped, because, knowing he was logged out last week means he is definitely using it secretly. I pretended like I didn't notice and a couple minutes later he got up to take a long poop. I cried while he was in the bathroom. Shortly after, I said I was going to bed early and he stayed up without me. He's on summer break. When I got up for work, he was still passed out. I went on his phone and found no Snapchat app. It was then that I knew something was shady for sure, and when I looked up Snapchat on the home screen, it was there, just hidden in a folder of apps disguised as cooking and workout apps. He had not logged out of Snapchat and when I opened it, there was only one conversation with a real human and it was a girl. There was no evidence of conversation between them because, for those who don't know, Snapchat deletes previous messages for good. I was ready to confront him for cheating with basically zero evidence but decided to keep snooping for something concrete. In that same disguised folder, I found that he had OnlyFans downloaded. The only content creator he was subscribed to had the same username as the woman on Snapchat, but it's his fucking student. The one from the theater, who was blushing. I have never clocked a face so fast. I am 100% certain. We make fun of OnlyFans simps all the time so I was already disgusted but I actually threw up when I found this. I was scared I was going to wake him up and genuinely didn't know what to do so I put his phone back and left for work. At work, I did some sleuthing and was able to find the girl's Instagram/Twitter accounts. She's 18 and from grad photos I can tell with certainty that she attended my husband's school. The same OnlyFans link was in her Twitter bio. He has texted me normally throughout the day and I have not responded to any but to tell him I have to go to my parents tonight, but in reality I am still at work because I don't know what to do. The reality is that this is fucked up but she has graduated. Is this now just the same as any old affair? I don't even know if she was in any of his classes. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do next. Lawyer? Should I ask my husband and see what he says? Should I ask her? Edit to add. Does anybody know how to / if you can tell when an app was first downloaded? TLDR, My teacher husband is Snapchatting/subscribed to OnlyFans of a student of his school who is 18. Help. Comments. Commenter 1. This will not stay a secret for long. If the other students know, this will come out sooner or later. Someone will post something, her parents will find out, but eventually it comes out. Best to protect yourself and get your own legal advice as well as counseling. Your husband is not who you thought he was, and that's a really hard thing to accept, so take the time you need to figure that out. However, you don't know if this was the first time he did it or the first time he got caught. Either way, he should not be working in a school ever again and should be reported. Commenter 2. Yeah, secrets like this don't stay hidden for very long in high school. The girl's friends know, so other people know, and the farther from that inner circle you get, the less people care about keeping anything hidden. His career is doomed. Commenter 3. A teacher watching a student on OnlyFans is bad enough to leave. You don't need proof. Commenter 4. Honestly, I agree. Whether they have a physical relationship or not, he's viewing intimate material of his student and obviously conducting some sort of relationship with her. That's horrific behavior. I would certainly consider it infidelity, and even if they weren't in active communication, his desire to view a student in a sexual context would be enough for me to be done with the relationship. Commenter 5. Okay, so you saw her at the movies in March and her friends were definitely acting like something was up with her specifically? When does the school year end in Canada? Meaning, did she just graduate in May or June and would have been at the high school in March? You need to see a lawyer. Do not talk about this with your husband for now. Do not talk to her. Please don't do that. That is not a good idea at all. Are you considering divorce, or are you mainly concerned about ramifications to his job? I think you should talk to a lawyer about divorce, but that's me. For his job, this is up to you, and I will not judge you if you don't, but please consider telling the school. I'm sorry, but you now know your husband is a risk to his female students. I'm not saying it's a sure thing that he'll prey on another one, but he is a risk, and I think you know this. So, if you know this, what is your obligation to girls at his school? Maybe just to add that it is not okay for teachers to groom students but not act on it until they leave. School here finishes end of June, but high school students are done earlier to complete exams, so mid-June. They'd graduate in May, as in celebrate and walk the stage, but return to school for exams. Divorce for sure unless I am mistaken. But, I am also praying trying to find any way that this could be acceptable or ignored, because I am heartbroken. My heart is shattered. I know I have an obligation to protect his students, but am struggling to this of this man as the one I married. I can't even think straight. What kind of lawyer do I get? I've never had one before. Just divorce lawyer? Will they tell his school if I confide in them before I know the truth? Commenter 6. You have the girl's name? If so, I'd confront him by asking about her. I'd ask when did he first subscribe to her of ACCT, just casually. When he denies, I would ask if it was before or after they started snapping each other. Is it a paid subscription? Also, you can see when the app has been downloaded if on an iPhone you go to your apps in your settings. It will tell you the date of when the app was downloaded even if it's since been deleted. Your husband is gross BTW. This is a reminder to all PPL that usually when someone is sue against something there is a reason. The reason is often because they are attempting to cover up what they really think, etc., or because they believe if they show they are vehemently against it, PPL will think that's true. Just like PPL who cheat often would be the first to discuss how horrible cheating is. Yes, I know her name. Is there a chance that he is not engaging and just subscribed? A chance that he has her Snapchat but isn't talking? Is there a chance I'm wrong? Should I check when it was downloaded before I ask? If he downloaded it after the school year ended and has not been engaging, is this the same as porn? It feels worse. Commenter 7. Honey, you know the answer. You just want to believe in who you thought he was so badly. Why do you think the girl was so blushy? She knew he was a subscriber. I know. But then I also think that I don't know without proof. Is what I have proof? We share a mortgage. And a cat. We have shared investments. We just passed our 1-year anniversary. I thought I knew him, and now I don't even know if I can go home. I don't know where to go. We've never so much as even had a fight where one of us sleeps at a friend's. If I go to my family or friends, they will press me and then I can't take anything back. Update. My post blew up and there were many up-to-team comments, so I wanted to update. I read every single comment, but there was too much to reply to. To clarify some things, no, I didn't have pictures or screenshots of the Snapchats or OnlyFans. I was so upset I didn't even think about it until afterwards, and I thought there would be another chance to get them. I realized I fucked up. For some of my early comments, my brain was still reeling. I am 100% leaving my husband, to make it clear. It took me some time to come to terms with what was actually happening and the fact that I was in denial, but Reddit helped me get there, so thanks. The comments were about 50-50 split between talking to a lawyer or my husband first. The reality is that I didn't think I had anywhere else to go at the time, and I was so emotional last night and felt like I needed to know. I wanted to confront him and rip off the band-aid. He called me while I was still at work and I ended up telling him we needed to talk. He seemed thrown off by this and cancelled plans to stay in. I didn't get home for almost 3 hours after that, crying and deciding WTF to do. Ultimately I went home. If you're ever in the same position, don't do what I did. I wanted to follow the advice of many comments by basically saying, I know about her, but I really wanted to get pictures of the evidence first, so I planned on playing it cool, saying never mind, all is okay, until we went to sleep, and then sneaking back on his phone. I shouldn't have said anything on the phone, but my emotions got the better of me. But when I walked in the house, I immediately felt like he knew that I knew. He said, "What's up?" super standoffishly, just seemed off, and whatever I said on the phone must have tipped him off. Either that, or he was able to tell that I was on his phone in the morning somehow, pretending to be asleep? I'm not sure. So I couldn't control myself and got super emotional and confronted him on the spot. I asked if he had OnlyFans. It was the first thing out of my mouth, and he literally said, "No." What did you want to talk about? I told him I knew that he did, and he denied. I told him I went on his phone this morning and scoffed and walked away. I followed him crying and screaming that I knew he had OnlyFans and Snapchat, that I was leaving him, and finally cried out something about cheating with his students. When I said that, he immediately turned around and asked what the fuck I was talking about. I told him that I knew about the girl, 18F, and his face genuinely turned into somebody I don't know. He immediately began yelling in my face that I don't know what I was talking about. How dare me accuse him of sleeping with his students, that I'm crazy and trying to ruin his life. I was screaming at him back. I told him to open his phone and prove it, and he laughed in my face about how stupid somebody would be to do what I'm accusing him of, and basically threw his phone at my face and said, "Knock yourself out." As people can probably guess, there was nothing. He definitely knew before I got home. He was logged out of Snapchat, and when I asked him to log in and stop lying, he logged into a different account and asked me if I would drop it now. The first one had just 18F and a few AI account things. This one had all his old college group chats and other people, including me. He gaslit me and swore he didn't have another account. He even suggested that I dreamt all of this. At one point he finally admitted that he subscribed to an for a streamer during one of our intimacy lulls, but never a student, and he swore he lied because he loved me and doesn't engage in that kind of behavior anymore. It was just hours of lies and gaslighting. He said that he knew which student I was talking about, but that he's never spoken to her or taught her. He didn't recall the movie theater incident and accused me of imagining it too. He denied receiving a Snapchat at all a few nights ago when I first saw it. He denied acting shady the days before. He denied everything. I was absolutely disgusted by him the whole night. As the conversation went on, he started to talk about how he's going to get us marriage counseling, that my trust issues can be worked on, and he would leave teaching if it's what it took for me to stay, but never admitted to anything with a student. Admittedly, I was starting to get a bit of a gaslight fog about the situation, believing some of what he was saying, but when he volunteered to leave teaching, I knew it was worse than I knew. Because teaching is his everything, he gave up an amazing opportunity which would have made him 3 to 4 times the money and way more recognition to teach, and has never complained about his job a day in his life. We both know he loves his job more than he loves me. If this was truly all a misunderstanding, or if it was a one-off with a graduated non-student, I just think he would do more to protect his job and his career. He wouldn't just leave over crazy behavior from me. That immediately told me everything I needed to know, that he was panicking on the inside about me leaving and me telling people. Maybe because more happened with 18F than what I know, maybe because he's done this before, I'm not sure. But he fucked up bad. It's so late, I was so exhausted, and I feigned agreement in working through it and told him I could move past it, but I was obviously lying. I need time to get shit in order. He is sleeping in the guest room tonight. I told him I would need a lot of space, and he said he was okay with that. He left his phone in our bedroom for the night as a peace offering. I hate his fucking guts. I have so many things on my mind right now. What the fuck to do, how to get a lawyer, if I should tell my family, if I should tell the school, the fact that I have no proof but I know what I saw. Ugh. The fact that I'll be 33 and divorced. Above all, the fact that my husband may have slept with this girl, that's my gut telling me, because he kept repeating that he would never sleep with his students, over and over, when I was using words like cheat with, look at porn of or sext with. So that's the update. I was gaslit and lied to. I got no sleep last night but still went to work this morning to get away from him. He hasn't texted me or called all day. I want nothing more than to go to the school with this info. My heartbreak is gone and I'm just angry and disgusted and want to right his wrongs, but I need him to admit to it so I can know how bad it is, and I don't think he will. I was thinking of telling him that I reached out to the girl, I'm not going to, and see if that freaks him out enough to come clean, but what if she doesn't know / he's using a fake account? Or just saying I have proof, even though I don't. Anybody have any good ideas? In the meantime, looking for divorce lawyer ASAP. TLDR, found proof of husband Snapchatting / subscribed to students OnlyFans, but now all evidence is gone and he gaslit me. Have no idea where to go from here besides start the divorce process. Edit. I am quickly edited to add, because so many people are saying I don't need proof to divorce, and I know that. I'm leaving him 100% regardless. But I really want some proof. I want to prove to him that he can't lie to me and get away with doing this. I also think most people in his life will not believe me without proof. I'm scared of my name being slandered and him getting off scot-free, or maybe even making me the bad guy for falsely accusing. I also want to know the extent because I need to know if he is sleeping with students or just being a creep. Edit 2. Thanks for all the comments. This blew up even more, so I won't be able to reply to all. Have a meeting with a divorce lawyer at 4 p.m. Will act accordingly based on their advice and will update tonight. Comments. Commenter 1. First of all, I am glad you are safe. I was very concerned your husband might hurt you when he realized you knew about the student. I know you got so many comments. I am the law professor from your earlier post. Please get a lawyer and then go directly to the school. You don't need proof in the way that you mean. You tell them exactly what you found and they will open an investigation. As you already know, this girl's friends know what is going on. It will not take long for whatever the specific facts are to unravel. Also, you do have evidence. Your testimony about what you saw is evidence. Yes, the school will need to corroborate your statement, that is their job BTW, but you certainly have evidence sufficient to alert the school at this point. Please do so. I'm not going to repeat what I said earlier about the many reasons why, but simply that I think you know it is the right thing to do to protect the students your husband has access to as a teacher. I'm very sorry this happened and really hope that you also get therapy if you can to deal with all of this and your husband's gaslighting. ETA. I just want to respond to this comment because it's concerning. I want nothing more than to go to the school with this info. My heartbreak is gone and I'm just angry and disgusted and want to right his wrongs, but I need him to admit to it so I can know how bad it is, and I don't think he will. You do not need him to admit anything to you in order to go to the school. You are not the intermediary here for him. The school will carry out its own investigation and the facts will then come out and you will know how bad it is. You are not an investigator or prosecutor of your husband. You have evidence of a concerning nature about the safety and welfare of students involving a teacher at the school. What else is there is not your job to find. I would really advise you do not engage directly with your husband anymore on this topic. He has already become extremely angry with you for raising it, and you pushing for information is going to be interpreted as a threat from him. Please disengage ASAP from your husband, leave this in the hands of the school, and get to a safe place where you can organize your divorce. Do you have somewhere you can stay? Go there. Do not talk to your husband and definitely don't tell him things to see if it freaks him out enough to come clean. This is extraordinarily dangerous. Please do not do any such thing. Commenter 2. You don't need proof. You know what you saw the red flags last night. Hire a lawyer and get the divorce process started before things get any worse. Your husband has a lot to lose. Don't let him pull you down with him. Get out ASAP.